In today's episode of the Hexagon Challenge, it is a Ligue game away at Reims. It is at the end of January, so we also have a transfer window to round up. Let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hexagon Challenge here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well. Before we get into today's episode, remember to go down below, hit that like button if you're looking forward to this episode, and also if you have not done so already, then hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. All that good YouTube stuff, it is greatly appreciated. So when you were last here, we were taking on Blessed at the end of December and we picked up a 1-0 win against them to round out the first half of the Ligue season. Since then, we've had a couple of Ligue games and we've also started our Coup de France journey while going through a transfer window. First, we'll go through these results. We started off with a game against Borg Pelonas in our first stage of the Coup de France. We picked up a 1-0 win here. Pretty average performance if we're being honest considering the quality of opponent, but it was off a little break. Gabriel Fernandez with a nice strike here just inside that near post in the 19th minute. That was the only goal. Our rotation team picking up a 1-0 win there. Now off the back of that, we had an away game in Ligue 1 against Lyon and we were able to get a nice 2-0 win here as well. It took us until just before the 40-minute mark to get our first goal. Nianzou flicking that onto Mulder, who was open at the far post, and he banged that in. And then Gabriel Fernandez got another here, worked his way into the first team by now. Yet again, a bit of a pinball effect there in the box, and he was able to stick his toe out and poke that into the bottom corner, and we picked up a 2-0 win against Lyon and their manager, who doesn't like me very much. He's a bit of a douchebag, so it was nice to get that win, albeit not the most dominant performance of ours, but it did get the job done. Off the back of that, back into the Coup de France, we took on 2nd Division Angers and picked up a very nice 4-0 win with the rotation team. Didn't take us long to get going here. Hudson-Odoi with the intercept rolls one through for Rodrigo, that is, and he banged that away nicely. Should be banged that away nicely. And we were 1-0 up after 5 minutes. Then Hudson-Odoi put a corner in. Sevillana with a nice header into the top left corner. Made it 2-0 early on. Took us until the 82nd minute to get our third goal. But we got it nicely. Nice ball there for Dembele off the bench, and he put that away, bottom left corner. And not too long after that, Koulibaly on the ball to Cerrillo. He finds Rodrigo Mercado. His effort was saved, but it was Palestri, a player who hasn't had much game time this year. We had a few winger injuries around here, and he was able to get his first goal for the club in a game that I've managed anyway, and rounded out a 4-0 win that saw us into the round before the quarterfinals of that Coup de France. Then back into Ligue 1 with the full rotation, a 3-0 win against Stade de Reims at home. This was a game that we thoroughly dominated, but it wasn't until the 70-minute mark where fresh off the bench, Edwin Quintero was able to get on the end of that Dembele cross, to be fair, and had to sweep it home, and he did, and that got us 1-0 up, and from there the floodgates opened. Dembele with a corner, taps over, flicking that onto Fernandez at the far post, similar to the Mulder goal from a couple of games ago, and then very late on, taps over, launched one forward for Edwin Quintero, and he rounded things off with a nice 3-0 win. Quintero with some very good bench impact for us there, and we got some reward for a game that we had been dominating, but it took us a little while to earn it. And then off the back of that, we had our most recent game against a Championship National team, so 3rd Division of France. The rotation team, for the most part, were put out for this game and picked up a good 3-0 win. Edwin Quintero continuing his good run of form from that previous game, kicking us off in the 11th minute, getting beyond his defenders and banging that in the bottom right corner. And then a couple of minutes later, from a free kick from Hudson-Odoi, able to get there before the goalkeeper did and put that in the back of the net. Unfortunately, he went off injured, and it was left to Martinez Quarta to get the third goal from a Flavio Henrique corner. The other player who went off injured in this game was Gabriel Fernandez. So we've got a few injuries that we need to cover to start this off. Now, Edwin Quintero is actually fit for this, so that is nice. It was only a minor injury, which was good. He was able to stay out there for most of the game after picking it up in the first half. However, Gabriel Fernandez, who I actually forgot to take out of the lineup, it should have been Amin Ghali starting that game, but he got injured. He is going to be out for 8 days to 2 weeks which is a bit of a shame as he had just been finding a good pitch of form and getting that star rating up around 3.5 too, which is why he was back in the team over Gowdy, but that gives Amin a chance to get back into the lineup. We've also got an injury to Tanguy Nianzou at the moment, which is of note. He pulled his abdominal in one of those early games in this half of the season, so he is about due back but won't be featuring in the game we play today. And we're also missing Mulder with a twisted ankle. He is out for a similar time frame to Fernandes, so that means Alvaro Fernandes will be coming into the first team for him. So that catches you guys up on where we are. Competitions-wise, the only one we have to worry about at the moment is Ligue or Uber Eats, and we are 6 points behind Paris Saint-Germain, albeit with a game of hands, and not much has changed since you were last here. However, if we do win today's game, we will go 12 points clear of third place Brest and 17 clear of Lens. As I've said a few times, we are looking very good for securing Champions League football next season. And also the Coupe de France, we have a quarter-final coming up soon. We did win this competition last year, so I'm not going to focus on it too much unless we do get to a final. Then we'll probably show that episode. But we have been drawn against Stade de Reims in the quarter-final, and having just beaten them, we're pretty confident going into that one. Hopefully someone can take care of Paris Saint-Germain, because they are clearly the biggest threat to us. They got knocked out before this stage last season. They're going a bit deeper this time in, and they are taking on Lens in that same round. The other teams of note who should probably be going through to the semi-finals, Lyon and Marseille. So some interesting matchups could be coming in that Coupe de France. Now, we have had a transfer window, and it has, to be honest, been one of our more quiet ones. We have not sold any players as of yet. All these players you can see have been going out on loans. And the players that have came in, most of them, we had already sorted out before the transfer window started. The likes of Shaun, Machago and Castro we had already wrapped up deals for. We have made a few more transfers since then. However, the first one was a player from Cadiz who we have a affiliation with, and he had a few stats that popped up. I couldn't see these when we decided to match another club's bid, but for 1.5 million, I thought this midfielder at 17 years old, being Spanish and EU, was worth the punt. And you look at his potential ability, and I think he is. Got a bit lucky here, it's fair to say. I just thought we'd take a punt given the price that we had to pay for him, and he looks like he could become something quite decent. Does Lamon from Spain, a midfielder. So we'll see how he gets on. Won't feature for a wee while, being 17 years old, but could be one to keep an eye on depending on how long we are at the club. Probably more one for the future. So we'll see how he gets on. But for that price, I thought he was well worth the deal and matching another club's bid. And then not too long ago at all, Makalele was a player who came up on the shortlist, a Brazilian right winger, 18 years old. We have loaned him back to Botafogo. We spent $7 million up front on him, and he's got some pretty good stats for an 18-year-old. Again, one more for the future, but he might sneak his way into a squad role next season should he continue to improve. And the good thing about this guy is he's also got Spanish nationality, so he does count as an EU player, which is nice for a Brazilian. Two good nationalities there in terms of a Wonderkids, so hopefully this guy can go that way. So those are the transfers. We haven't been doing too much. However, there could be one more to come out yet. Cedric Van Dessel is a player you don't need to worry about. He's just been lying around in the second team. Was going to leave us on a free at the end of the year anyway. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he came to me wanting a transfer. I said okay. He's had about 6 offers come in that were accepted for him, but he's turned them all down because of contract issues. He's now accepted one from Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. It's a club he said he wants to go to, so hopefully he accepts that one. And if that money comes in, we might have to look at bringing in another midfielder just for squad depth, but he's 32 years old. Looks like a good time to cash in on Loftus-Cheek, especially as he wants to go. If we do get that money, then we can definitely make a decent transfer, and if that happens, I'll bring that one to you guys next episode. But on the whole, we have been able to keep most players. Flavio Henrique did have a big come in from Bayern Munich. It was only about $50 million New Zealand though, and we were able to give him a higher wage, and he was happy with staying at the club, and we were able to turn that bid down. So on the whole, it's been a pretty good transfer window, not much disruption at all, and it's been kind of like a toy store where we've been able to buy a few Wonderkids and chuck them into the club, sort of like Wonderkids are us, I suppose. So that has been what has been going on. And yeah, as I said, we might get another midfielder in to replace Loftus-Cheek. And if we do, I will bring that to you guys next episode, as it will be a deadline day deal the day after this game. So we are taking on Reims. They lie in 6th, just inside the European qualification zone, although with that game in hand, a win would get them up tied with Lyon, so they will want to be beating us. Hopefully we can get the job done though and keep this title race with PSG alive. We will come back when the match coverage starts. Okay, here is the TV coverage. Here is the Reims team playing a 4-2-3-1, somewhat similar to us. They've got some decent players in that team, so they will prove a difficult challenge for us. There's our team. The main things you need to worry about: Sebelano in for Nianzou, thanks to that. Mine and Niggly still carrying, and also Garley, I suppose from last time you were here, is still holding on to his first team place. However, Fernandez has actually overtaken them now, so when he gets fit, I imagine that's going to go back around. But just those two changes from what we would like to be putting out. Reims are kicking off playing left to right in their red and white home outfit. We are in the blue and the yellow playing right to left away from home. Nothing happening early though, 0-0. Although now Reims do have a free kick in the rain, and they will look to be keeping themselves firmly in the European qualification hunt with a point or a win here. But hopefully we can, as I said, keep up our fight with PSG for the title. They have pinched a march on us since they beat us in the first half of the season, and we've drawn a few too many games since then, but hopefully we can get back on track. Our form so far since the new year started has been good, although that's a good chance for Reims. They hit the post and we clear it. Gary now on the counter. Can we get something going? A very good chance for Reims, and they do bring Gary down there, so a bit cynical. That should probably be a yellow card, although it's not. Still 0-0 after 5 minutes. Throw into Reims after 8 minutes. They find Zuma, although Ampadu cuts that out, and Ricky Puig, who found a little bit of form in the cup game midweek. We gave him a few minutes there and he got an assist. So hopefully he can keep that form up, because he's been a bit up and down, as I've said a few times recently. Nice ball for Enrique, and that took a good save from the Reims keeper. So a couple of chances at both ends that haven't missed by much, and it remains 0-0 after 9 minutes. Dembele with a corner. It's missed by the defenders, although Reims do clear it. There's the highlight, still 0-0 after 10 minutes, but another one starts. Tessier for a throw-in. Dembele gets on the end of it. Tessier gets it back. Mukudi heads it clear, but only out to Alvaro Fernandez. Now Flavio Enrique on the ball. Puig. Dembele in the box. Here's a shot, but it's straight at Barbier in goal. It remains 0-0 after 10 minutes. Throw into Reims at the 17-minute mark. Lundqvist finds Mustafa Kepi, a good midfielder there. Good tackle from Ampadu though, and we get possession back, and hopefully we can get something launched on the counter. That's a nice ball from Dembele for Enrique. He got around the keeper a little bit, but his shot missed target. That was a very good chance, but it remains 0-0 as we encourage the boys, try and get their heads up, although Dembele now gets something going again in the 20th minute. He's making his way towards the box. Ball taken off him, no penalty. Gary gets possession back for us, a Gume, who we have not had a bid for yet. No interest from Barcelona, despite the rumours being that way, so we can keep him for now. That highlight petered out, but another one starts shortly after, and it is Barbier with the ball in goal for Reims. Boots one long back, taps over, heads that down to Puig, up to Dembele. Can we get a goal? He makes his way into the box. Agume. That was a very good chance. He was free there, but can't hit it on target. Still 0-0. Free kick to Monaco. 27 minutes gone. Agume puts it in, but it's straight at Barbier. And they will continue the highlights, so maybe something else is going to happen here. Fernandez hitting that down for Puig. Enrique to Agume. Back to Garley. Looking to play Dembele in. It's headed clear, but only out to Tessier, so he might still have a chance coming from this. Puig to Dembele. Making his way in field. Ampadu out to Tessier. Back to Dembele in the box. Out to Tessier. He puts a ball in, and it is headed by Flavio Enrique's 20th goal of the season. A nice passage of play from us. Good patient work. And it is Flavio Enrique hitting that into the top left corner. Not much the goalkeeper can do about that. And we go 1-0 up, approaching the half-hour mark. As I've said in the last few episodes, that's quite becoming a bit of our style too, waiting to the half-hour mark to get goals. It's a nice header from Enrique though. We're 1-0 up. And no highlights since that Henri goal. We go into half-time 1-0 up. Stat-wise, we do probably deserve it, you'd consider, with 6 shots on target to none. A pretty good half. In the end, we had some good chances, although so did Reims. They hit the woodwork with one of their few. But once that happened, we have the better run of play and we have got our reward for it. We will tell the boys they've played well, but there's a bit of room for improvement. We'll also give them what we believe they've got a bit more to offer, that we know they've got what it takes, that good stuff. All got their heads up, and we'll crack into the second half, and hopefully we can build on this lead. And as I said, keep that title race up with PSG as we lead Reims 1-0. Playing left to right in the second half. Dembele on the ball early. The ball taken off him though by Meyer. It will go out. That will be the highlight. 1-0 early in the second half. Throw into Reims in the 47th minute. Lundqvist on the ball to Mehmet Odubasi. Corner out on the left-hand side. Back to Meyer. What can they do? They play it back to Zuma. Back to Meyer. Might be able to press them and turn the ball over here, hopefully. Zuma back to Khan. And they find Kapi. They might get something going here. It's a good ball for Butmini, but straight at Gorlon. So luckily, that's an early chance again for Reims, but they don't make it count. 1-0 after 52 minutes. Throw into Reims, and we've picked up a couple of early yellow cards in the second half to our defenders, albeit we are able to head that throw-in out to Henri, but we give possession straight back to Reims, which is a bit frustrating. And Butmini, who had that good early chance in this half, tries to find someone on that right-hand side, but Tessier cuts that, and now Dembele making his way down the middle. Can he slot on Rican? No, he might have a chance himself, just wide, try to drive that low and hard, but missed the target. It remains 1-0 after 60 minutes. Okay, with those yellow cards, I think we're going to take the opportunity to make some substitutions. We want our defenders being able to put some tackles in. We'll bring Nianzou on for Tapsoba, still carrying that injury, but hopefully he'll be able to get through half an hour. And we'll also bring Anthony Herver, a young right back, coming through the system on for Paul Tessier. And then we don't need our players to be easing off tackles. We'll just leave those 2 subs for now and see if we need to make another one in the last half hour to try and build on this 1-0 lead. Tessier with a throw-in that's gone to Dembele. The ball's taken off him now. Puig with a shot. Oh, good save that was. Didn't think anything was coming from that. Just thought it was a substitution highlight. Not a bad one though, albeit it remains 1-0 with 25 to go. Okay, we'll go goal kick to Reims here in the 73rd minute. It is making its way towards touch, but Fernandez keeps it in for us. Find Nianzou, fresh off that injury. Hopefully a bit of football here. We'll see him recover from that a bit sooner. Agume to Puig, who having an alright game, it's fair to say. And Dembele, who's on a red heart. We might have to deal with that soon. He makes his way in the box, just keeps possession. Finds Puig, good save. Another good chance for us there, but it remains 1-0. We will just let this corner play out with Dembele taking them. Nianzou heads it over the bar. We will take Dembele off here because that red heart is concerning. We've got a busy little period of League all games and Cup games coming up. Callum Hudson-Odoi can come on for him. According to star rating, our best winger at the moment, but not so sure about that. But he is going to get the chance today to prove it. We'll make that sub. That's all of them. We've got 15 minutes and a bit of extra change to hang on to this 1-0 lead. Throw into Reims in the 85th minute. Kapi on the ball, back to Khan. Pretty quiet second half, it has to be said, albeit Reims have probably the better of the latter stages of it. Wisser in a nice position there, but a good sliding tackle from Herver. It's a corner, but that could have been firing into the back of the net, so that's a very important tackle potentially. Albeit we have to deal with this corner. Nachev to put it in. Ampadu heads it clear. Out to Mehmet Odubasi, and hopefully we can snuff out this attack from Reims late in the game. Kapi on the ball, back to Khan, and they get something going, albeit not being shown. And now we have a throw-in the 89th minute, and we give it straight to Ben Moist. Interesting name. And Odubasi now on it, and he's got a bit of space as he sizes up. Nianzou, good tackle from him, though he's been good since coming off the bench, and we find Flavio Henrique, and this is a nice ball from Hudson-Odoi, and he's in here. Flavio Henrique, can he put it away? Not with shots like that. A bit weak, and it will remain 1-0 as we get towards the last minute of the game. Although it's a poor header from Ampadu, and Sevillano is to try and tidy up. Doesn't do an overly great job, albeit Diarra Sobu with the long shot misses the target. We've got 3 minutes left. It's winding down. We're in the last 40 seconds, albeit it's a Reims highlight, so hopefully we can keep this out. Kapi will find Mukodi. just keeping the ball in. He'll look to find Kapi. And they put a ball into the box. Ben Moyes with the header just wide. That was a very good chance for Reims. That might be the last one they get though. We've got 5 seconds left. Gordon taking his time over this. Good man. Plays it out to Sevillana, and hopefully the referee blows this up quite soon. Boots it long and it's all over. Not the greatest game. Probably the first half was a bit more exciting than the second, but we do pick up a 1-0 win thanks to a Flavio Henry goal from a cross that he was able to head into that top left corner. A game that shots-wise we dominated, but Reims, when they did have shots, weren't far away from hitting the back of the net, so we possibly got away with that one a little bit, albeit stats-wise, as I said, we probably deserved that win. I'll tell them it was a good win, because we did play well, but yeah, they definitely gave us a little bit to think about there, did Reims, and what that result does mean is that we are still in the Ligue hunt for first position this season, and with 16 games left to go, a 12-point gap on Stade Blessed and 14-point gap on Lens, you would hope that we are going to hold on to a Champions League spot and we can get back into some Hexagon-shaped business next season. But that will do for today's episode. As I said, if that Loftus-Cheek transfer goes through and we bring in another midfielder to replace him, then I will let you guys know in the next episode. In terms of when that will be, the Europa League isn't actually, once we get to the right part of the screen, that second knockout round isn't actually until March off the back of a PSG game. So business is probably going to pick up around then. I don't feel like we need to focus too much on the Coup de France yet. We might come back for the derby, the Côte d'Azur. The second one this season will take on Nice on the 5th of February, I think. And off the back of that, we'll get forward to that PSG game and then we'll be back into the Europa League. But if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do go down below, leave a thumbs up on it. And also, if you have not done so already, then please do subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell on. It is greatly appreciated. But until the next time I see you for that Nice game, I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you soon. Cheers.